Units of the Syrian Arab Army target terrorists in the countryside of Al-Qunaitira, Latakia, Dar'a and Idlib, killing dozens of them, mainly foreigners. The Mistura announces the approval of the Syrian government to a ceasefire in Aleppo city for 6 weeks. Libyan warplanes attack Al-Jafra airbase run by terrorists as the UN Security Council discuss new measures concerning the Libyan crisis. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Irato Krikorian from the News Center in Damascus. Syrian Arab Army units have eliminated a number of terrorists east of Al-Tal Mashara and north of Khazan al-Samdaniya in Al-Qunaitira countryside. In Damascus suburbs, several terrorists have been killed, most of them non-Syrian, including the Yemeni Bakr al-Assusi, the Palestinian Abu Abd al-Malik, the Libyan Abu Muawiyah, and the Tunisian Abu Uthman al-Tunisi, and destroyed their equipment in Khan al-Sheikh, Al-Zuhur Street, Al-Villat, and Al-Sa'id. The Syrian Arab Army also targeted terrorist gatherings west of Ain al-Bustan, north of Sa'sa and Sis Mountain. Other terrorists were killed in Akko, Sur Valley, and Kansaba in Latakia, northern suburb. The Syrian Arab Army also destroyed armed men's vehicles in Hammadi Umar, Abu Hbaylat, and Ras Muqtish in Hama countryside. In Idlib suburbs, terrorists were eliminated in Al-Hamidiyya, Tal Salmo, and Abu Duhur. UN Special Envoy to Syria, Staffan de Mistura, has declared the Syrian government's acceptance of a ceasefire in all its forms in the city of Aleppo for 6 weeks, according to the plan he has submitted. In a press conference at the UN, de Mistura said he has notified the UN Security Council of the Syrian government's readiness to stop the fight. He affirmed that President Bashar al-Assad is part of the solution and that facts on the ground will prove whether the ceasefire will hold and whether it can be repeated in other places.
The government of Syria has indicated to me its willingness to halt all aerial bombing, all sorts, all types of aerial bombing and artillery shelling for a period of 6 weeks all over the city of Aleppo, from a date which we will be announcing from Damascus. I plan, therefore, to proceed to both Damascus and hopefully to Aleppo as soon as possible. Let's be frank, I have no illusions because, based on past experiences, this will be a difficult issue to be achieved. But we will engage also very much the opposition, hopefully to see them to respond to a similar request from the UN to halt mortar and rockets all over the city of Aleppo for 6 weeks. No illusions, but a dim of hope, bearing in mind that it is our duty to protect civilians, Syrian civilians, wherever we can, while we are still hoping to find a political solution.
Welcome back. In Iraq, 5 people were killed and 5 others injured in a blast north of Baqouba. A security source said an explosive device planted on a roadside in Al Jazeera village has targeted a security patrol. It blew up, killing a security man and injuring 4 others. 25 ISIL terrorists, on the other hand, were killed when the army repelled an attack the terrorist organization had launched near Erbil. Iraq's ambassador to the UN, Mohammed al-Hakim, has called on the United Nations Security Council to consider information about ISIL trading with human organs to finance its terrorist operations in Iraq and Syria. Hakim said mass graves were found where certain human organs, like kidneys, were ripped off corpses. He added that 12 doctors have been executed in Al-Mosul after refusing to take part in operations where organs were ripped off from the bodies of the killed. Leader of the Islamic Revolution in Iran, Ali Khamenei, has criticized the international coalition's stand, which alleges to be combating terrorism. In his word in the Iranian city of Tabriz, Khamenei said, "This fabricated coalition has sent a message to the Foreign Ministry declaring that it does not support ISIL terrorist organization." However, Khamenei added, "There are photos which reveal American armed assistance to them." Khamenei said, "Serious work is needed to stand in the face of the embargo in order to thwart the schemes of Iran's enemies, which take advantage of the embargo in order to paralyze the Iranian people's move forward." Khamenei underlined of adopting the policy of the economy of resistance, pointing out that Iran possesses the largest oil and gas fortune that Europe and the world needs and is capable of imposing an embargo on them and will do so when it is necessary and in due time. The UN Security Council today discusses new measures regarding the Libyan crisis in light of Egyptian demands to lift the embargo on arms and an international emphasis on the need to find a peaceful solution to the crisis. The meeting is held at the request of France and Italy. The Egyptian president had called for an international coalition to interfere in Libya. European governments and the US have issued a joint communiqué stressing the need to find a political solution and form a unity government in the country. Media sources confirm that Libya's warning message has reached each of Turkey and Qatar, urging the quick move by Qatar to send its Deputy Foreign Minister, Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Jassim, to Algeria in an attempt to ease the pressure over its terrorist allies, such as the militias of Fajr Libya and the Muslim Brotherhood, at a time when Algeria rejected the Qatari demand of condemning the Egyptian airstrikes in Libya. In Libya, Libyan warplanes bombarded Al-Jafra airbase, which is under the control of local armed militias, destroying a plane on the ground used by the terrorists. Meanwhile, an armed terrorist group attacked a deserted military headquarters in the city of Sirte. For his part, Major Colonel Khalifa Haftar pledged to continue his fight against terrorism all across the country, pointing out that the Western countries which speak about terrorism do not offer actual help to defeat it. Over to Tunisia, where 4 National Guards personnel were killed during a terrorist attack which targeted their position along the Algerian borders in the city of Boulaba near Ash-Shanabi mountain. The Tunisian Ministry of Interior said in a statement that terrorists are still active in the city of Boulaba despite intensive military attacks by Tunisian warplanes and ground troops. In occupied Palestine, Israeli occupation troops arrested 13 Palestinians during an inspection and arrest campaign in the cities and towns of the West Bank. Meanwhile, Israeli settlers broke yet again into Al-Aqsa Mosque in occupied Jerusalem, forcing their way into Al-Maghariba Gate amidst tight protection by Israeli soldiers who were keeping the IDs of women and children during their entrance into the mosque. 5 Turkish MPs were wounded following a hand fight inside the Turkish parliament, hours before a debate on a controversial draft resolution which tightens Erdogan's grip on security issues. News media reported that a state of chaos prevailed after some opposition MPs tried to postpone the discussion on a resolution which gives Erdogan's police more authority on matters related to arrest and inspection operations. It is to be noted that thousands of lawyers gathered in front of the Turkish parliament to denounce the draft resolution, which would only strengthen Erdogan's security power over demonstrators and critics. Finally, on the latest developments in Ukraine, the presidential office in the People's Republic of Donetsk asserted that hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers surrendered in Debaltseve, east of the country. The Defense Ministry of the People's Republic of Donetsk had earlier announced that the People's Defense Forces are encircling 150 Ukrainian soldiers in a street of Debaltseve. The Ukrainian military also admitted for the first time that a large number of its armed forces are blocked in Debaltseve. With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Serena, but after a short break.